All right, my name is Andrew. I'm the head of operations for Magilla. Commonly referred to as Magilla Loans because we're not that big of a name brand yet, so kept throwing my loans. Our whole idea was conceived by one of our founders. He owns a chain of funeral homes, and he every time he'd go to expand his business, he'd have to go to 3 or 4 banks, find the personnel who's actually going to do his loan, submit his financials, wait for word back, and then make a decision. And that often took several weeks or more to do. So he asked Dean, our other co-founder, if there was an easier way to do it, and there wasn't one, so we created Magilla Loans. What are we? First of all, marketplace. We're a two-sided marketplace. We service both borrowers, established business owners, as well as lenders. When dealing with the borrowers, it's a very simple process. We wanted to make it as dummy-proof as we could. You fill out a couple forms. What's special about us is lenders submit proposals in real time. There's no auto-generated proposals, which you'll find in pretty much every other one. These are actual lenders who are actually seeking to do that loan type that the request is doing. And they submit ballpark proposals. These are not hard offers. And but we found that when they fund, the rate doesn't change very much. So it's pretty accurate. The borrower then connects with the lender or lenders that they want. They can match with as many as they want. And only those that they match with get the contact information to exchange. And then they go off-site and close the loan. This prevents any privacy issues, regulation issues that banks have, which is why the adoption rate from banks has been pretty good. So we're very easy to use. What takes weeks to find the right person you want to deal with now can take as little as an hour. We've had multi-million-dollar loans have 7 or 8 proposals within a couple of hours and match and go off, and it saves quite a bit of time. We're 100% anonymous. So borrowers come in. Big concern right now is privacy. People submitting information online. They're concerned with all their stuff getting out there. And we don't ask for names, phone numbers, date of birth, social security numbers. We don't run credit. We don't care about any of that stuff. Our job is to introduce you to the lender who's interested in your loan, and that's where we stop. We're also free to use. We took this from the view of a business borrower. So we didn't take this from the lender or the broker model. As such, everything's free. There's no upfront fees to put in a loan. There's no fees when you match with a lender. There's no broker fees. There's no points on the back end. It's 100% free for the business borrower. On the lender side, we provide credit-worthy, established businesses, business owners who are actively looking for a loan for the next 30, 90 days to the lenders. So these aren't cold call lists that people are just calling. These guys actually came to our website and submitted a loan request, and so they're actively in there. Now this helps. There's a lot of cool stuff with that, but really they're matching in real time. Chris talked to one lender, and the lender said, I've been trying for 7 months to find you as the borrower, and they could have done it in minutes if Magilla had existed. And we've got a lot of established proof now that it works. The other great thing is there's no discrimination issues. You don't know who the person is, you don't know their race or religion, so you can't discriminate in any way, so you can't be accused of it in any way. As well as we're now starting to develop a pattern where we know what geographic locations, what loan types, business, home, where all the hot markets are right now as we expand out. We're starting to see the patterns. This is going to be very useful down the road. Our solution was just a win-win marketplace. Why now? Well, all the other aggregators out there, Kayak, Match, Uber, they've all revolutionized their industry. Our goal is to do so with the banking industry. Feedback we've gotten so far is pretty good. It's highly regulated. We know the banking industry is. We know it's slow to adopt. We know that it's way behind on the fintech market industry. So we provide the leapfrog so that the old system of doing banking can now leapfrog and catch up, or at least compete in the marketplace for the fintech. Patent pendings on everything, trademarks on everything. We're actually up to 100 bank brands now, 1.4 billion in loans in a year and some months since we've been going. We're at about $1.3 million business loan average and a $700,000 home average. We have an iOS and Android app as well. These are some of the other people in our market. Big thing for us, no confidential information, borrower never pays. We make our money off the vendor referrals right now. Title companies, warranty companies, they want to be referred out when these loans go through. So that's kind of what we do. As well as there will be a lender subscription probably in 2017. If all goes well. Competition, we are the only agnostic lending marketplace. You take an example like LinkedIn or something like that where you submit your information and you submit all your information and then it goes and you have next thing you know, dozens and dozens of borrowers and brokers are contacting you, email, phone, trying to get a hold of you. to win the business. Some of them even run your credit before they even make the phone call. And that's a major concern. So we are truly anonymous and free for the borrower, which is why the adoption rate has been really strong. And that's our team. Those are the founders, and that's about it.
Hey, great job. So, Andy, right?
Andrew, yeah.
Andrew,
Adelaide.
what can this community do for you?
So we've established that it works over the last year. We've been trying to really concentrate in California only. The two issues we have right now are access to high-level banking personnel who make decisions, so we can at least get in front of them and talk about us as a lead source, as they do now. And then as well as we have no experience in rolling out across the nation, and we need someone with experience on how to do that. We just expanded in the last 3 weeks to Nevada, Arizona, and Texas. But to do it properly would save us a lot of pitfalls, and anybody with experience would be greatly appreciated for that one.
So it's now open questioning. So if you have questions for Andrew.
Yeah. So every lender is responsible to evaluate the credit of the borrower, or is there some centralizing?
So we feel like in order to look at basically the bottom line of the balance sheet, we feel like if that's all you need to know, and at least to make the introduction. If you're at a dinner party and you see a guy over there who looks that you know is an established business owner, very successful, and you just want the introduction, we're that introduction. We say, hey, go talk to this person. You don't need to know their name. You don't need to know their credit right now. We do ask a credit range, but that's as far as it goes.
And the credit range you use is the FICO.
Yes, but they don't run their credit. They don't run their credit on our system.
So
They just put
you
in what
don't
they-
use any artificial intelligence newer than FICO to evaluate people?
No, we don't do anything with credit. They put in what they think their credit score range is based on that. But some businesses, credit score becomes less of a concern and more about the information of the business itself. Is it real estate?
So what you're saying here, there are quite a few companies doing this. I mean, there are in the fintech, many people attacking the banks. So one of the companies that I know of is comes from PayPal, one of the PayPal founders, and they do exactly the same thing, and they cater for the millennials. The millennials don't have a good credit. Well, all the millennials owe money because of the studies, and they're very young and so on. So what they do some other type of artificial intelligence evaluation, and they give loans based up to about $1,000. They are not big loans. Based on their ability to pay back. And they would say, okay, you can't pay for 2 months, fine, no problem. I'm not going to put you penalty, I'm not going to ask you anything like this. You can go and buy whatever. We have a computer from Best Buy or wherever on the web. And we pay for the computer, we collect the money for you. And this system is now imitated by many other people. So I just wonder whether you plan to get into this kind of thing.
While we'll service all loans and all people, we're not, our market is geared towards the established business.
Yeah.
Low credit we'll service as we can. We have lenders that serve the lower credits, especially for the housing side, but that's not our target goal. So our goal is to stay kind of more of a premium brand, even though we'll service everybody. We're going to stay marketed towards those with means. We find a lot of commercial real estate people come through.
There are many people predicting that FICO is going to go down in the next few years.
I mean, if it does, it does, but honestly, credit is such a small
Because the
portion
whole
of the
thing has
system.
been invented 40 years ago, and we still go by that. It's got no artificial intelligence, nothing. Just
Fair
a
point. Hey, Andrew, so your core focus, it sounds like, is what we call maybe like SMB loans, small medium business. If you're like in the million-ish average range, that's probably somewhere.
We've
there.
handled $48 million loans so far.
So sweet spot for businesses.
Sweet spot, right now it's between 700 and 2.5 million
For a business.
for business loans.
And so then business and then homes as well.
Home is all jumbo, pretty much. We do get a
So
lot of
jumbo
lowers.
focused.
Yeah.
Okay, and those are the two core areas then?
Those are the core areas. It was originally business only. That's the whole reason it started.
Right.
And then we realized that a lot of business owners were pulling money out of their house in order to pay for expansion on the business. So we included residential too. So the residential started off as just kind of an additional feature for the business borrower, and now it's kind of turned into its own beast as well.
Right. What's the criteria to get sort of presented as a business to lenders? If you're not doing credit score or any of that stuff, so what is the criteria?
So we ask the high level stuff. We ask, your assets, your profits, your revenue, what type of loan is it? Is it commercial real estate construction? Is it speculative construction? Whatever it is, we ask that. And then on the borrower side, we're asking a credit score range, and then what their assets and liabilities are. Veteran loan, that kind of stuff. Like it's just very high level stuff. We ask the core business questions more than anything else.
How long does it take to fill out on average?
Line of credit form will take you maybe a minute or two.
A minute.
Commercial real estate, a little bit more, just because there's more stuff to do with it.
You said about a minute for a home?
Oh yeah, for a home purchase for sure, minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that. It's pretty quick, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, because it's high level.
Yeah, it's all high level stuff, but it's surprisingly accurate enough to, and we constantly tweak the forms. Every form is different, just because commercial real estate refi is a lot longer because there's a lot more stuff involved. We're adding an advanced option for the commercial real estate to get more into the nitty gritty for those that want to do it, but it's still not required. So if you want to know what your cap rate is and your NOI and all that kind of stuff, that's all in there as well.
What's your acquisition?
Cost per acquisition?
No, I was more interested in sort of the system that you have in place. How are you acquiring most of your customers?
Mostly through FCM. We've done radio. We've done, haven't found that being very successful. We've done newspaper. Site Business Journal, I think, for a couple of weeks. We've done a lot of different avenues. We're trying a lot of different things, but primarily the bulk of it comes from Google AdWords and being in Facebook and that kind of stuff.
When you say Facebook, socially Facebook or paid Facebook?
Both. But we focus more on home on Facebook because we tend to get a better market there. The business loan quality is not as strong on Facebook. It's definitely much stronger on the search side.
Dovetailing off of that, if your users, your borrowers, because you have two sets of users, if your borrowers are mostly anonymous and you're contacting them through a variety of mass market, how are you getting close to knowing what their needs are? I mean, obviously they have a need, it's quite obvious, and you're fulfilling it, and the success is right there on the amount of loan value return you've already done. But in the case of refining and marketing, how are you getting close to your anonymous users?
So a lot of it is a sell point of the fact that it's anonymous. I mean, that was a huge thing. We get a lot of the questions come from the lenders directly on the feedback. It's a lot of trial and error, to be quite honest. You can obviously figure jumbo loans are probably in nicer areas. Where's the hot commercial real estate markets? Well, that's where they are. Is there, take Nevada, the Gigafactory area. Like that's going to be a huge commercial real estate development area for the next while. So, just kind of knowing the trends, researching the market and that kind of stuff, we kind of glean and then use our best guess and give it a shot. If it works, great. We'll put more money into it. If not, we'll move on.
So,
I just want to thank you for being here today. I'm a little biased because I'm a lender and I use the system, but I think it's a great model, and I think that it adds value from the sense that there's a lot of alternative lenders out there, like you said, like Cabbage and on debt capital, and companies that might have a little bit higher interest rates than your traditional lenders, like smaller size credit unions or banks or regional banks. So I appreciate that, being able to still kind of keep those two tied together, from a community standpoint and from a lender's perspective. And then I just want to ask one question that I know the answer to, but maybe not everybody else in the room here is: do you guys finance, or are you able to connect startups with financing?
We can, yes. So we have some lenders that do it. For example, we have, very specifically, if you're a veteran and you're trying to start a business, we've got a guy who just focuses on that kind of thing. Franchises, there's all kinds of different options. We add lenders every week, and all of them, now that we have kind of a broad cover, we're actually getting more niche lenders as well, where they specialize in just certain areas. Even as granular as churches and convenience stores and some of the harder ones. But yeah, definitely.
So sorry if I missed this in the presentation. The revenue model, it's based off of the lenders themselves? They're paying a fee?
So currently, the actual revenue is from the vendor side right now. So the title companies, the warranty companies pay to be referred out. Realtors could be in there as well. We've got a huge, massive list of about 30 or 40 lenders or vendors that we're going after. We wanted to do that because we wanted the adoption rate to our lenders to be a little bit stronger. Banks are already, apprehensive at first because they need an easier entry into trying the system, just for risk assessment, and then once they find they've had success in the system, then all of a sudden it becomes almost like systems almost like dealer track on automobiles. When you go to buy a car, they submit the information, and lenders are sitting there right there to put in an offer on it.
You're basically aggregating a big bucket of lead gen. I mean, that's usually
It's exactly what it is. Yeah, bottom line, it's what it is. The bonus is they tend to be a lot better than your cold call lists or some of the other lead gens that's currently out there. So.
Yeah, it's one of the things I like about it. Number one, it's anonymous, so people feel a little more comfortable putting their information in there. It's kind of self-regulated, and so the leads are a bit scrubbed by the time they land on somebody, because if you look at the criteria, you say, no, that's not a good fit for us,
Exactly.
and move on.
And lenders set their search criteria. I only do these loans in this range and these locations, and then they're pinged every time one comes in, and that's helped a lot because then they're not looking at our first generation website. It just listed the whole thing, and it was a very hard system to get into. So we've custom built the system from the ground up. We've got in-house coders that are continuing to flesh it out.
I super love this idea. I use aggregators to plan vacation trips, to decide who I'm going to buy my insurance from. And what a hassle to have to go personally check with all these financial institutions about what they can do for you. So anyway, I think it's a great idea, but I don't have any money to invest.
Well, yeah. Well, the other.
Maybe I could get a loan that I
There
could.
just takes a minute. Great point is if you're a lender, like you're a small bank and you want to enter into a new market, traditionally you have to build a brick and mortar and go through all the hassle, training and all that and hire on. Here you actually can break right into that location just by going through Magilla. All you gotta do is change your search defaults, and now you're in LA, now you're in San Diego. I mean, it's very easy for them to get access to new leads. And we've had quite a bit of funding. Our big loan, our coup de grace was a $48 million loan, but last week we had $8 million, $4.5 million loan. And we get a lot of the higher loans because, Chris, when he started this thing, he's like, they built it and they put all their information in just like all the other online companies do. And they realized they didn't need that information. He didn't want to put his information on the internet. I mean, if you're an established business owner and someone gets wind of that as a lender or a broker, they're going to be all over you. So he wanted to do it in a way where he could feel comfortable putting it in without people hassling him. And that's kind of where we built everything from.
So,
Go ahead.
in the volume of business that you do now, you are totally self-sufficient, or you have to borrow some more money, and there'll be some time in the future when you break even?
So right now we are self-funded. We're doing all right with that, but obviously that's going to end at some point. So we would hope to be self-sufficient before that time. But we are looking for partnerships as long as they bring more than just the money. We're looking for the experience and for the access. And that means more to us than the money at this point.
Okay.
But obviously we'll take it.
And that's it, okay, no, it's fine.
But the subscription model, going back to answer your question as well, we do, we don't want the individual lender to, like the individual banker, to have to pay for the leads. We don't want to go down that road. We'd rather it come down from up top. So, we've had meetings with Wells Fargo on the higher level, and, they're interested in talking about, whoever their marketing person is to just sign up the entire nation and just.
So in your models, when you look at like your average cost to acquire and your estimated revenue per transaction, what does that spread look like?
So our app cost right now ranges between $15 to $200 depending on the loan type. Our goal right now is more borrowers. I mean, that's really what feeds the lenders, makes them happy. And then once we feel like we have enough, that number is still being figured out. We're still trying to build enough to justify an amount, but obviously it's gonna be pretty big. I mean, numbers have been thrown around for the amount that they're paying for leads now.
What is the average cost for a lead now? For the average industry in that space, right? What are they paying? A range?
I don't think that's into that.
We've been told multiple numbers, anywhere between 5,000 in MSA to 10,000, 15,000, depending on the MSA. So the service area. So for example, Sacramento alone could cost you $10,000 a month for these leads.
Oh, monthly, okay.
Yeah.
I was asking per loan transaction that someone would fund.
Around the $175 to $350 cost per lead if you broke it all the way down.
Okay.
Which is why we're trying to lower our ad cost. But the loans that cost us for about $150 are all commercial real estate, all over $5 million, that kind of
And the
thing.
$15, $20, $30 ones are the
Home
home.
loans, yeah.
We have time for one more question.
Quick question, have you thought about a model to replicate what a mortgage broker would be paid? Like maybe it's half a point or a point on a commercial loan, and maybe do you revenue that way?
Yes, we do have some things in the works where we may go down the loan where we create the bank in Magilla, and we take the loans that the traditional banks don't want to touch, kind of the fall between the crack kind of guys. In which case we either fund it ourselves, become the bank, or do something similar to what Summit Funding or some of the other guys do, but they just wholesale pack loans. Yeah.
Ditch at the end of the month.
Exactly. So that is on the table. We are looking at that. We don't want to really go down the broker model. We don't really want to charge borrowers ever because we're built the business core on that. So to add points onto it would be kind of against that.
Okay. And that wraps, now, thank you, Andrew.